Hey everybody, Loretto, Stell, Bev, Janine, hey y'all. Hope everybody's having a good day. So Loretta, you didn't have to go to Tracy's thing tonight, huh? I was thinking about, he invited me to go, but I couldn't because of this, but okay. Hope everybody's having a good week. So I wanted everybody to type in until I can, Ty actually shared a tool with me that I can bring people in for our, to be able to talk back and forth and be more interactive. So she shared the tool with me. I just have to study it a little bit. And so maybe I'll try to incorporate it for next week. But until then, please share the dopest thing that happened to you all week. Okay. So Janine says she got rid of a ton of papers that had been in a box for 5 years in the bedroom. Dang, that's freeing. That's freeing. So congratulations to you for that. Okay, let me turn my texts off because now everybody want to text a sister when I'm in class. Okay, so please, so we got Janine. So everybody else who's on, Bev, Loretto, Stell, y'all go ahead and tell me what it was like. Share with the group. Oh Lord, the most awesome thing that happened to you this week. It doesn't have to be big, but it's just the small, right? Clutter definitely affects your mood and affects your spirit, because how cluttery your house and your car is how cluttery your spirit is, like which I told you the other day. So we'll go ahead and get started. People are coming in, but I just want to respect those of you who are here on time. She got invited. Yeah. So Bev is going to come on my show on Monday to talk about her Ghana movement. So all of you who haven't seen her website, she shared it before, share it again right here. But she takes students to Ghana and she actually studied there for a while. And so it's the 400th year of us being kidnapped and us here. And so there are some movements that are commemorating that and celebrating the fact that we survived because we're still here. So that's going to be cool. So make sure that you guys listen in there. And then Wanda, she finally got to pick out her kitchen floor for remodeling. Yay! Remodeling. I just have the vision for it in my home. I need some remodeling. And then she lost 5 pounds. So congratulations. Every little win is a win, y'all. So that's what we want to do. We want to celebrate each other. So Bev put her website there. So, hey, Chrissy. So let's do our grounding. I just put on some ylang ylang essential oils. I got to get my water. Hold on a second. Get you guys water if you don't have it. Get your pen. If you don't have it, I'm actually doing tea. I've been on calls with you guys today, so my throat's a little parched. So I just want to make sure that I'm able to, be in strong voice for you guys. So get your water. So what we're talking about is, Chrissy, you just joined us. The dopest thing that happened to you this week. It could be today too. But what I always want to do is start off with good things, because when you start off with a good frame of mind, you attract more of that. And we'll talk about that when we get to spirit, the attraction. We're going to talk a little bit about the law of attraction, actually. So, and Loretta kept her bedroom clean all week and started cleaning her office, which is a big step. Okay. Congratulations. So let's, wherever you are, if you can just put your feet on the ground. And we're doing mind. So that's why the first time I did us with our hands on our head. But today I want to put us with our hands on our heart. Because what I want us to do is we're going to talk about trusting ourselves. We're going to go back to some intuition things, and we're going to talk about our words and the energy of our words. So dropping into the heart, giving ourselves the opportunity to get into our heart. So we're just going to do our breathing exercises that I've heard that some of you have been doing. Thank you very much. I'm sure you're feeling better because everything is breath. Like if you ain't breathing, what? You did. So, all right. And if you're sitting in a chair, sit at the edge of your chair, feet flat on the floor, one hand on your womb, your belly, your sacral chakra, if you will, and then the other one on your heart. And it can be whichever one you want, whichever one you want. So we're going to do our breathing exercise. We're going to do 3 rounds. We're going to do in for 4, deep breath. Now, this is the thing that I want you to look at. So no judgment here on my belly, but what's going to happen is when you do the breath, you push the belly out like a pregnant belly. So you're going to go. So watch how I do it. And then when you breathe it back in, you go, and you're breathing out like you're breathing onto the mirror. You're going. So you're kind of going in and out. That's the breath. That's the best way to make use of the breath. That's the best way that the breath, the air, the oxygen nourishes the cells. And so I'm just teaching you that, but you can go on Google, you can go on YouTube, you can go on all these different places to learn how to do breath work. Breath work is a whole other thing. If you take yoga, you probably do some breathing in yoga too. But and it's counterintuitive. That's the thing. We're normally so shallow right here going, I'm trying to drive in this car. 95 is a mess. My boss is about to come. We're just shallow breathing. But when you go, hold it. That's a whole different breath. So that's what I want us to get used to doing. I still have to remember to do it. I'm a very shallow breather, but I'm getting better at it. And so let's do it. So I'm just going to put the fingers up because I'm going to be breathing. So it's hard to count and do all that at the same time. So we're going to do 3 rounds. 4 in, belly out. Hold it for 4 and then pull your belly to your ribs and go. And think about it. Every time, and Elise is here. Hey, Elise. Think about it. And Elise is a Reiki master and she does yoga too. So she probably can tell us better about the breath than I can. But, it's funny. Have you ever, like when you were, when you're not like really excited about what's happening, do you ever go, you ever find yourself doing that? That's the breath right there. You're protecting yourself with your breath. I'm going to put my cousin Wanda on the spot here, and she inherited this from her mom. But whenever things are not going the way that they like it, they be like this. And I always tease them about that because I can tell that that's their signal for they ain't too happy, and that's what they do. But a good cleansing breath would help to calm them a little bit better. So, that's just my little funny with them that I tease them about because they be like, but whenever something happens and, you feel better, you're trying to get some relief, you just go, and then give me the thumbs up if you have ever caught yourself not breathing and you be like, yo, I got to breathe. I haven't been breathing. I do that all the time. So give me a thumbs up and then we will get to the breathing. Okie doke. Okay, on the edge of your chair, don't tell your mama I was talking about her. On the edge of your chair, hand on the belly, hand on the heart. So we're going in for 4, belly out if you can. It's just a new way to think about it. Close your eyes. Well, you can't close your eyes. Well, you can do the count in your head unless you just want to watch me, but it's better if you close your eyes. So last one. That just helps us get present. That just helps to get us to where we are, where we need to be, not focusing on anything else. If you have your TV on, or, you know, if you can put your, if you can put your phone on mute, maybe turn off the TV, turn off the other distractions so that you can just focus and give yourself this time. This is your time. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Hope you got your water. Hope you got your journal. So let's get into it. I wanted to make sure, I just want to do some housekeeping. Oh, let's see. Did Elise or Chrissy, did you all write down what's good and new? What happened to you this week that's just like the most awesome, dopest thing? I'm sure we have plenty, but just type in one. We just want to celebrate that with you all. Wanda lost some weight. Loretta cleaned up her room and kept it clean, and she's working on that desk. I'm going to come check your desk on Monday because I'm going to be there Monday, Loretta. Let's see what you got going on there. Bev is coming on my show to talk about her Ghana educational organization and her trip. So that's all exciting. So housekeeping, past lessons. Want to make sure that when you're at your leisure, you go in and you do the lessons. You take the time to get the lessons in, you know, at your leisure, whenever you can, because I know everybody got stuff to do. But they definitely are a great complement to what I'm talking about here. I kind of base what I'm talking about here on the lessons. So want to make sure that everybody's up. Please give me a heart if you have already connected at least via text with your accountability partner. So a heart if you have, even just by text, with your accountability partner, some hearts. So I'll know that at least, you know, we're making some progress here. So I don't see no hearts. What y'all doing? Okay. Somebody make the first move on. Okay, thank you. I was gonna say, somebody make the first move on reaching out to your sister. And then I'm just going through housekeeping. Hold on, why is my laptop acting crazy? Okay, hold on, I lost my notes. And then the potluck. So I wanted to be sure that everybody voted on the day. Okay, good, Andrea, and you had a good talk. Hey, Dre. I'm glad you guys got to talk. I was excited to hook you guys up. I'm sure there could be like a nice bond there. Andrea I was a substitute teacher in 1994, 95, and Andrea was a student there, and I was a substitute, and she just came up to me one day and was like, Miss Cherry, can you take me to the mall? And from 94 to 2019, we've been rolling deep and tight. So, you know, that's a great relationship. Yeah, and then Chrissy, she said she found a brand new journal in her nightstand. I mean, who finds a brand new journal in their nightstand? Look at God, like my sister said. That's awesome. So now she can start writing. But what I'd like for you all to do is to take the poll, because I want as many people as can, accepting you as you are. Right. So that's good. And I'm working on that, because I'm being tested in a few areas that is making me question some things about myself, but I know that it's the lesson that I'm ready for at this time. So I'm having to look at it in a new way. So anytime you can accept you as you are, that's a gift. So that's a gift that you have to be able to receive things. I think I wasn't ready to receive that part or receive that gift of the love of self. So I'm working on that. So that's amazing, Elise. That's amazing. So please give me a heart or a thumbs up. Let's do the thumbs up for this one. Give me a thumbs up if you have voted. Oh, no. If you can, the little smiley face there, there's a green little check. Put a green check there if you have voted already. Because what I want to do is, for as many can make it, is I want you to come down. Who's your partner, Chrissy? You have to, it's up, your partner's name is up on the Facebook page. Hold on, let me see. I don't remember everything who I partnered everybody with. Let's see. if somebody can look on the page for me so that I can do this, but your accountability partner is on the page. I posted it. It has your name and whoever else I put you with. So, oh, Carmel. Oh yeah, Carmel. Yeah, and Carmel is probably going to be joining us a little bit later, but I matched you two because she's a teacher. And so she's in education, and she went to Virginia State, and she's from Jersey. So I matched y'all up. And so hopefully, you know, you guys will be able to bounce ideas and things like that. Okay, as long as you all voted, you can put whatever you want. Just put a thumbs up if you voted, because my goal is to gather us. I want you guys to be able to be together instead of just being virtually. I want us to be able to gather together, and I want you to come to the Zen Palace, and I want us to eat and chit chat and chuckle and get some hugs and talk about the things that we learned. So that's why I did that. So if you could, and so Wayna's here. Great, good to have you, Wayna. And so I want, you know, everybody to vote on a day that you can come. I tried to do Sundays because I felt like, you know, after people go to church or go to service or whatever they do on Sundays, we can get it right in the afternoon, 2 to 4, and then you still have the rest of your day to come. The 17th is a Sunday, but the 18th is the President's Day. So I figured that might work if you are on a holiday that day. If you're off of work that day, that also might be able to work. And so just vote and see what works the best. Beverly is unable to be here on the 24th, and I really, really, really want to try to get as many people. I know the local people, I know the Jersey people and the Atlanta people are not going to be able to come, but at least the DMV people, I felt like if you had it on your radar far enough out, that might be something that you could consider. So I want us to be able to get here and love on each other and hug on each other and see each other versus just the virtual. And then next week, hopefully, Ty shared a new tool with me to be able to bring you in on Facebook so that we don't have the technical glitches that we had the last time and me trying to make that happen. So potluck vote, make sure you're, you know, at least texting your accountability partner just to say, hey, and that you're in the portal getting your lessons, and you do that whenever you can. So Wayna, we were asking about what's the dopest thing that happened to you this week or today, like just the most awesome thing. If you can scroll through and see somebody kept their room clean, somebody lost 5 pounds. It just depends on what you want, on what you consider the dopest thing. For me, I was able to finally, and it seems like a small thing, but I was able to wash my hair. Like my hair was raggedy. I went to the gym. I sat in the sauna. Like that's my Zen quiet place, sitting in the steam room and in the sauna when there's no little ladies in there trying to chit chat with me. It was just me by myself. I got to sit in there. I got to wash my hair. And then I got to sit in the steam room I sat in. And then the sauna, I went and dried my hair and sat in there and sweat some more and then twisted my hair back. I love that. Like, that's bliss for me. There ain't nothing else there's not too many more things that I love more than just being able to just have some quiet time. So that's what I did. So we're going to go right to the lesson. The lesson today is about trusting yourself and their intuition. So I did hit on it a little bit last call. And but I wanted to delve deeper into it. And so for today, the Thursday Facebook lesson is how we will discuss trusting ourselves, our God-given instinct and intuition. And then there's an assignment, and it's to read How to Cultivate Self-Trust. And it came from Deepak Chopra's website. Somebody wrote an article about it. And I know a lot of times we don't trust ourselves. We're not socialized to trust ourselves. And we have all of the power within us. And I know we talked a little bit about it before, but even on some of the calls I did for today, just making sure that we, as you know, we're here, we got God-given talents, we got God-given gifts, and one of those is our intuition. And it will allow us to make good decisions for ourselves. However, if you don't know how to harness that energy, if you don't know how to use it to your benefit, and if you are not afraid to use it. Because what I know about us as women, especially Black women, especially Black mamas, or Black wives who have other people that we worry about more than ourselves, we don't go with our intuition. We kind of focus on the opinions of others, and we will flow on the opinions of others. And even though our little bellies might be tight and our shoulders might be tight and we might get that little nauseous feeling because we know that what they're saying is not really what we want to do, we'll lean and rock with it just to keep the peace. And so I don't want us to do that. So part of it is trusting yourself. And so I do want to say this. When I'm giving you these lessons, like I told you before, this is just me planting little baby bird seeds, and you can pick them up, Google them, look at other resources, expand your knowledge, and do it on so that it makes sense for you. And one of my favorite quotes, and I'm probably going to create a GIF, a meme, and put it in the our portal or in our Facebook group, is that changes that are loved into being permanent are the ones that stay. So if you get a little, baby bird seed, and then you go ahead and research it more and toss it around more and see how it works for you on a Tuesday, or how it works for you on a Sunday, and how it works or does not work for you. If it does work for you and you start to implement it, you'll love it, and you'll be able to change some of the behaviors that you were doing because now you understand why you're doing a certain thing. So I'm reading Wayne as I got up early to journal and meditate, and had a big revelation on the day. It was hardest to get out of the bed so Wednesday. So now she's motivated to stick to the new routine. So everybody give her some hearts and some thumbs up, because that's big. When you have a revelation, that's big. And so what are the revelations that I want to give to you? Because we talked about it the other day, and then I saw somebody ask about crystals and wanting to learn more about crystals. What I want to say is that crystals are the bomb, and essential oils are the bomb, and all these other things are the bomb. But you know what's more bomb than any of that stuff? You and your own thoughts and your own intuition and your own intellect and your own instinct. Those things are more bomb than any crystal, essential oil, piece of Palo Santo, piece of sage, any other thing that you can use to enhance your spirituality. And so what I want you to remember is that you have the power. What I want you to remember is that you have the intellect, you have the intuition. You're pretty much perfect the way you are, and then we're taught to rely on other things. So like we rely on the opinions of others, we rely on what the doctor says, and we say that that's gold, and that's what is supposed to happen. We rely on our parents, we rely on our spouse and our friends' opinions, when really what we think is the most important. So what I always want to do in all of my lessons, and in every 21-day goddess gathering, and every client that I work with that's like a one-on-one, and even the patients at the doctor's office, is that I am always putting you back to you. I always want you to consider your own reflection in the mirror before you give your power to something else, to another thing, another object, another plant, another incense, another flower, another stone. Those things are in support of the things that you're doing once you already know who you are. Once you know who you are, then those things enhance and supplement, you connecting in your spirituality. So I wanted to do an exercise. I just didn't put it in the portal. And so this can be something that you can do on your own if you want to. So if you have your pen and paper, consider writing this down, and then on your off time, which I don't know how many of you really have off time, go to the dollar store, get one of those little mirrors, go to CVS, go to, CVS, Walgreens or whatever, and get one of those mirrors with the handle, right? Decorate the front of it, put flowers, put colors, put that sticky paint, whatever it is that you want on the front of the mirror. Put some fabric, just do whatever for the front of the mirror, so that every time you look in the mirror, you see beauty, and you've decorated it beautifully with the flowers, like little silk flowers from Michael's. Go to Michael's, get some little flowers, whatever you consider as beautiful, so that you're also looking at the reflection of yourself in the mirror, and you're realizing that you are it. You are it. The crystal's not it. The other things are not it. So African principles in some countries back in ancient times, they did not do either or. Either or is a more patriarchal European concept. Also and is a more ancient African principle, okay? So we live in a society that's like, do this or that. You could get with this or that. It's not an in-between. It's either black and white. There's no gray. That's not reality. Reality is that we are all very fluid, and the more fluid we can be, the better off we will be. Because when we're harsh, when we're rigid, when we're stuck in our ways, when we make things either this or that, my way or the highway, then we really suffer ourselves. So that's why I'm saying that to say, do the crystals and do those other things once you got yourself straight. Once, like Elise said, you have self-love. And I know where she gets that from. And I will even go as far as that, what I'm saying for myself, radical self-love. Okay? So also put that in your brain. Also and there really is nothing on the realistic tip that's either or. It's fluid. Everybody, there are 11 of us in this class. 11 of you, I'm 12. We all think differently, have different perceptions, have different experiences. We come from different places, different backgrounds. We sat in our mom's wombs differently. So why do we think that there's a one size fit all for anything? Why do we think that any thought process might be a one size fit all and that it has to be what it is? So if you could feel me on that, give me a heart, give me a thumbs up, just so that I know that you guys are out there and that you kind of understand the concept. And if you don't understand, if anybody has any questions, go ahead and type it in the box if you have any questions so that I can clarify. But that's just tapping back into our intuition and into ourselves. I want you to be the mirror for yourself. I want you to trust yourself. I want you to understand that you know what it is. Your insides really do know what it is. You know what you're feeling, whether you want to say it or not. You pretty much, even if it takes a few rounds of meditation, even if it takes a few rounds of getting quiet and journaling and waking up in the middle of the night and kind of just thinking about some things, it'll come to you and you'll know what it is. And it's always good. Like I say, I have a committee. I got like 3 or 4 friends, really my sisters, and then a few friends who I trust to like keep me on my toes and to question my stuff and to help me flip it around, turn it around and whatever. But at the end of the day, I make the decision. At the end of the day, I make the decision. At the end of the day, I go with my instinct. I go with my gut. I go what makes me feel the best. So that's what I want for you all. If you haven't done that, to start doing that, to start trusting yourself, to start looking in the mirror if it's in the car, if it's in the bathroom, this little mirror is right here at my desk. I could just look at it at any time because I'm like, come on now, Wendy, pull your shit together. Or you did that. You know, I have to talk to myself. Or as I'm sitting here, or when I'm talking to clients, because this is my office. So I usually sit here when I'm talking to clients, and I could be like, now you just told them to do such and such. Are you sure you're doing it? So I got my little mirror here, and I can be like, are you doing what you said? Are you walking the walk? So that's where the mirror guide comes from, because, you know, you got to live it too, so that you kind of feel what it feels like when it's time to live it and when it's time to walk it. So does anybody have any questions about that? Does everybody understand what I'm saying? I am not saying don't get with them crystals, because I have a crystal here somewhere. I got a little I have a little rose quartz. So that attracts love, but the first love is love of self, like Elise said. So, you know, I carry my rose quartz around, but it's because I am, you know, working on some things for myself. So it ain't like about attracting other people. It's about attracting love and radical self-love for myself. So there's another concept that I want to talk about that will also help us on this journey of sticking to our intuition. And it is watching what we say. So I grew up in Jersey. I grew up around Andrea grew up around me too, even though she's much younger than me, but we still experience the same thing. There was we grew up around the 5% nation, and they would say word is bond. So I'm sure you guys have heard that before, word is bond, or you might have heard an older gentleman say, my word is bond. And so kind of what you speak out about yourself or about your situation or about circumstances is pretty much what can happen and what will happen, you know. So I like to say that my word is my wand, or your word is your wand, because as soon as you say, I'm going to pass this test, or I'm going to have an awesome day at work today, or I'm going to make some time for myself, then you go ahead and you start to create, like, you know, God and the forces that help support you, they start to make it a way for you to be able to do that. Now, the other part of that is your word is your wand, or your word is bond, is that you can speak bad things into yourself too, because it's really all energy. And we'll talk more about that when we get to the third week of spirit. But I wanted to talk about it now because, again, it's mind, body, spirit. There is no disconnection. There is no silo. There is no silo. It's all very fluid. It's all very interconnected and intertwined. So it's hard to keep them so separate. But, you know, if you say, I'm not going to be able to X, Y, Z, or I hate when such and such and such and such, or, you know, I know something bad's going to happen. Or even if you're the kind of person who is waiting for the other shoe to drop, I stopped having that mindset of waiting for the other shoe to drop. I stopped having the mindset of just because something good happened, that now I can expect that something bad is going to happen. And what I put into my space is that I'm going from victory to dope shit, to dope shit, to dope shit. I'm just going up and up and up. It does not have to be that because something good happened, now I'm going to wait for the other shoe to drop. So then you got your body scared, and you got your body waiting for the next shoe to drop. And so we can choose to do that. I am choosing, and I chose a while ago to not do that. Now, does that mean things that I don't like don't happen? No. What that means is that I use the new tools that I have to help me navigate it, and to help me address it, and to help me understand it, or whatever. But I don't fight against it. I just say that's what it was. What was the lesson? What is the opportunity here? And, you know, you keep it moving. And if I feel like it's something that's overwhelming, then I phone a friend, you know what I'm saying? And then I get some insight, or I talk to one of my mentors and ask them for some help, because I'm always down for support. So that's why I'm saying it's important for you to have a accountability partner, because sometimes we don't know all the information, but if we're open to learning more, the right people will come into our space to help us. The right person will come into our space to support us. The right person will come into our space to give us the information that we need. And most of you have probably heard this before. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. So you all were ready for some piece that you saw as a part of this 21-day mastermind, and you were like, I'm ready for at least that piece, and then you came here, right? So some people attribute that quote to Buddha. I don't know who said that, but I have seen it be true in my life. I'm learning some lessons now about myself, and learning and tapping more deeply into my intuition, and I'm actually not dealing with. So even watching the language, I'm not dealing with anything. I'm actually sifting and sorting through some new concepts that I heard a while ago, but I was like, but now I'm realizing that these concepts might really be something that could support and benefit me. And I was told just in my conditioning and growing up that these concepts are wrong, but my gut and my instinct is saying, I think there's something there. I think that is something that I should explore. I think it's safe for me to explore this. I'm not going to hell because I'm about to try to explore this information that I have here. I'm not like afraid or guilty of getting ready to explore some new concepts. My heart, my gut, my belly is telling me that I'm on the right path, and I would have never been open to this kind of information even 2 years ago. But I'm ready. So now the lesson is appearing, and I swear I'm getting resources every single day to support what I'm learning. And it's pretty amazing. Like I'm really amazed, but I had to tap into myself, and I don't even have to tell everybody what it is or anything, because I don't need to. And I'm not saying you guys, like my little committee, I haven't even shared any of it with them yet, because I'm doing the sift and sorting on my own. I'm trying to see what I feel like. I don't have to call my big sister and be like, yo, what do you think about this? What does Wendy think about this? What does my intuition think about this? What does my God-given savvy and smarts and wisdom and curiosity think about these concepts? So once I kind of sift and sort through those, and it's going to take me a while, it's a lot of information. Once I get to a good place with it, then I might be like, what y'all think about this? But I'm pretty much resolved that I feel peaceful about it. I feel good about it. I'm actually super excited about learning these new concepts. So that's like an example of how using your intuition and not being afraid of what other people will say about it, and being open when it's time to learn something new. Because what we've been doing, what I was doing was not working for many years. But because I saw my family do it, I may have seen my mom do certain things. I may have seen the people around me do certain things. I may have seen my friends doing certain things. And I got to a point where it wasn't working for me specifically. So I had some really good calls today. And on some of the calls, we were talking about things that our parents did or that our siblings did that don't necessarily work for us on January 30th or 31st, 2019. It might have worked last month, and that was fine, but it does not work today. And we have the right and the Bobby Brown, my prerogative to be able to shift it around and to choose to do something different for ourselves. Does anybody get that? Any thumbs up? Is anybody feeling what I'm saying? Anybody have any questions? If you have any questions about it or want to get some more, you know, some more nuggets on it, give me something in the box. But, you know, what are some of the things you do to keep that communication channel clear? So one of the things that I do is just the meditation. And meditation really is key. It can look different to people, however it looks to you. But for me, and so when you do your health history, you'll see that I put, when are you most energetic? When do you feel the best? And I gave you different time frames. My time frame is like really 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning. And so what I do is, like I told you, I use my journal. Oh, my journal's here. I use my journal. I actually do what they call a yoga pose called legs up the wall. So as soon as I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth, and we're going to talk about, I think we talked about detoxification and, you know, getting all the toxins out first. Then I come back, lay down, I pop a B12, that's for energy. And I sit with my legs up the wall. So I'm basically laying in the bed with my legs up the wall. And I just start writing, and I just start thinking. And I just start, like, I do my thank you, wow, help me. There's a lot of help me to be able to keep that communication clear. And I also make time for myself to be able to do it. So today, like I'm not sure if you were on when I was talking about I just went and sat in the sauna. That's where I get a lot of divine downloads. That's where I get a lot of next steps when I'm able to just be quiet by myself. Sydney's pretty, she's like a bat because she's a teenager. So she'll stay in her room all day. She'll pop out to eat, pop out to say, hey mom, what you doing? Or show me an Instagram video. But for the most part, she lets me have my peace and I let her have hers. And so that's how I keep my communication clear. And then the other thing is too, and like I'm saying, it's mind, body, spirit. So if you eat clean foods, you connect better. If you eat dead foods, dead white, right, you know, lots of grains and flours and pastas, and that's dead food. But if you're eating green, a lot of greens, a lot of fresh fruit and vegetables, those are live foods. And they also help to remove the brain fog. When we get to body, we'll talk more about it, but I can just hit it here since you asked about communication being clear in a communication channel. There is a link between eating a lot of grains and brain fog. They call it the, well, it's also your belly too. They call it the wheat belly, or they call it just brain fog. And let me write this in here. Let me see. They call it the gut-brain connection. And so when you're eating those things, it clouds you up. But Dr. David Perlmutter, let me type that in here. I think it's David Perlmutter. I don't know. He's just one of the people that I follow. The wheat brain connection. If somebody Googles David Perlmutter, it's like the wheat brain connection or the grain brain connection. But he's a doctor who talks about those types of things that affect our body that we're used to because we supposedly live in the United States in the bread basket of the world. And we have been socialized to think that grains are good for us, and that's a commodity that the United States sells is grains. They sell soy, they sell corn, they sell peanuts, and they sell wheat. The government subsidizes farmers to sell those things. most of those things are genetically modified, and they genetically modify it to make more. And they have what we call in the United States now that we never had before is monocrops. That means one thing is in a whole field. So it used to be back in the day, you might have 4 or 5 rows of corn, 4 or 5 rows of zucchini, 4 or 5 rows of cucumbers. That's a poly, that's like a poly, that's the normal way to do agriculture. But because of commodities and people wanting to grain brain, yes, people wanting to get money, people, the government wanting to get money, they force and they encourage the farmers to just do these different things: wheat, soy, corn, sugar, and some of those other things, but they affect our brain. So I'm going all the way around John's barn, as they say, to tell you that those things affect your brain, and it does not allow you to connect. It does not allow you to connect the spirit. So if you think about, we have the high incidences of ADHD, ADD, Alzheimer's, and all those things. A lot of that has to do with our diet. A lot of that has to do with the grains. A lot of that has to do with the bad food and the genetically modified food that we are ingesting, and our bodies are getting tired of it. So, you know, I have what they call celiac disease, and my entire life since I was in high school in New Jersey, when I first really remembered it, I remembered after the club, remember everybody used to go to IHOP or whatever, where I live, everybody went to the White Castle after the club. I would go to the White Castle just like everybody else, and as soon as I started eating stuff, I would get like numbness in my hands, and I would get headaches. So I normalized it, and I said that that's just what happens when I eat. Now that doesn't even make sense, but because it happened every time I ate, I just said that's what happens. So I kind of like trained myself to eat certain things, to not eat late at night, otherwise I was gonna have a stomach ache. So as time went on, and then, you know, having Sydney, and, you know, even probably to 2011, 2010, probably, it was happening so much, I was so numb. They started testing me for MS, for Bell's palsy, for Lyme disease. So Lyme disease, I took 3 or 4 tests, and it came back a positive negative or something like that. And then I went to the neurologist because they thought I had MS. She did this crazy test on me. Well, you know, they said, they did a regular test, and then they said, come back on this day because then you're going to have to do this other test, right? I go back there, y'all. They start strapping me down to a table. I had no idea what was happening. They didn't even explain to me, but we were trying to see, because of the numbness and because of all these false negatives on my Lyme disease test, that we were really trying to figure it out. They shocked me like 23 times behind my legs. And by that point, I was already in it. I didn't have anybody come to the doctor with me because I didn't know. I was afraid to get up off the table. And every time I saw the lady coming with the gun, I was just like, and so I actually started crying. And she asked me, I asked her, I'm like, you didn't tell me. I'm like, what is this test for? And you didn't tell me what was going to happen, and why are we doing this test? And she was like, it tests for MS. It tests my neurological system in my legs. It was testing my nerves. And, you know, they were going, and they would see if it jumped up or whatever. And I said, how come you didn't tell me what this was? She said, if I told you what the test was, you wouldn't have come back. That's some crazy stuff. And the crazy thing is, if I stand up right now and look at my window, I can see that doctor's office. I live off of Seminary Road off of 395 in Alexandria Falls Church. Her office is right there. Sometime when I look out my balcony in the summertime, I think about her because she shocked the hell out of me. And then they said they they couldn't really tell if I had MS. And then they gave me some medicine that I only took one time because I was reading the box and I'm like, what in the heck is going on? Start to still have pain, still numb, at the gym numb, when I'm doing weights or when I'm riding a bike. I'm like, why am I numb? What is happening? Every day from kindergarten till maybe 2011, I ate oatmeal or cream of wheat for breakfast. My fave dish, cream of wheat. And then I thought, and then I was doing like steel cut oatmeal, right? And then I was getting super fancy. And then I was putting it in, I wasn't boiling it in water or milk. I was using organic apple juice. And then I put in some cranberries and some walnuts, right? So then I started going to my holistic doctor, Dr. Sakaliba Mines, that I sent you guys the information for the Institute of Multidimensional Medicine. And the first thing she asked me was, do you eat grains? And I'm like, yeah, pancakes is my thing. I've eaten oatmeal every day for 40 plus years, every day, the little packets. And then when I got fancy, then I started doing the steel cut, like I said. She said, no, no, no. The grain is what's giving you the brain fog, and the grain is what's messing up your fingers and my toes. My circulation was off. And so I had to stop eating it. And as soon as I stopped eating it, now mind you, I'm a little squirrel. Like I'm a little like that. And when I was getting Sydney tested for ADHD, I was going down the checklist and I'm like, whoop, yep, yep, ooh, dang, I think I got it too, right? I got off of that grain, stopped eating that oatmeal every single day, and my brain was starting to be clear and I could focus better. So what I learned to do was to eat foods that help enhance my brain. The foods that help enhance my brain allowed me to connect and have a better channel of clear communication. And those are brain foods. Walnuts, blueberries, avocados are just something to name a few. So visualize in your own mind what a walnut in the shell looks like. Looks like a brain, right? Right. The blueberry has the phytonutrients, which is the dark blue, that helps fight all types of free radicals that are in your body. So that was like a long way to say it. But so I replaced it with blueberries. I replaced it with fresh fruit. I don't eat grains anymore. I replaced that specific meal with fresh fruit. So then when I took that stuff out of my diet, and then when I called myself going home to Jersey to get some pizza, when I say I had the worst headache, because I got it out of my system. When I say I had the worst headache, when I say my fingers went numb, probably by the time I took 3 bites, I was numb. So that really was it. That was it. So, you know, you're able to connect with your intuition. You're able to connect with your instinct, with your intellect, with yourself, with your heart, with yourself. When you eat cleaner, when you learn to trust yourself, when you take the time to journal, when you take the time to give yourself a few minutes before the husband starts asking questions, or before the dog starts barking, or before the babies want whatever they want their snack, right? Those are the things that help you connect with your intuition, with your intellect, with your instinct. Good foods, good live foods. And when we get to body, when we get to shopping and all those, I'll go more into it. But that's kind of what are the things that help. And it's a also and, because remember, we have bio individuality. Everybody's body is different. So one of my really good friends is allergic to fresh fruit and vegetables. Picture that. Isn't that like the worst? I would be so upset if I was allergic to fresh fruit and vegetables. However, I can't eat, like everybody's like, just get a big salad. Wendy Cherry cannot eat salads because my body does not digest raw fruit and vegetables well. So I have to saute or heat mine up a little bit, cook it a little bit before I'm able to digest it. And then that helps me to connect better, which then in turn gives me clear communication and channels, which then allows me to be living my best life and feel good. And then when you feel good, you do good. When you feel good, you can perform better. When you feel good, you are vibrating high. When you're vibrating high, you attract more things that help you vibrate high. So that's kind of like what I wanted to talk about this week. Today's lesson was the connecting, to know that it's okay to do the crystals and the other things, but I want you to always look at yourself. You are it. You are the being that was brought to the planet for this time to do amazing things. You. So trust it. Trust yourself. Read the article from the from Deepak's website. Know that your word is your wand, and what you're saying, either good or bad, it happens. So, wherever you are at this moment, just look at your own feet or look in your mirror and realize that you played a part. You were the co-creator of your experience, and you played a part in whatever decision you made, or whatever choice you made, or whatever phone call you did or didn't do, or whatever email you shot off, or whoever you popped off on or didn't pop off on, brought you to this place. And so it's not even a judgment thing. It's a getting clear on those types of things so that you can move differently moving forward. You can say things differently moving forward. You can eat things differently so that you can connect to yourself. So, this is not one of the lessons in the portal, but it's just one of those things. If you want to go to the dollar store, to Michael's, get you that mirror, glue you some pretty little flowers on it so that you always have a beautiful frame for your beautiful face, to know that you are enough. You were born perfect. You were born with all the tools you need. You were born with the instinct, intuition, intellect to make all the decisions to serve you well. It's just that you have to be open to receiving that. You have to not play the martyr to the other things that are going on in your world. And you have to give yourself permission to start to evolve in a way that people around you probably aren't used to you doing, and be okay with that. So Elisa's saying health is so generally practiced. Yep, we are so individual. They call it individuality. Everybody's biology is different. Everybody's physiology is different. It's all different. So it's just a matter of us. It's just a matter of us tapping into that and being okay. So I was looking at the time. I set a timer, but the timer didn't go off yet. Oh, because we got 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Okay. So I hope that made sense. It kind of was like a roundabout way, but when I got on the tangent, I just went with it. So please ask any questions in the box. Anybody want clarification? Please be sure to connect with your accountability partner at some point. Our next lesson is on Sunday. Please go into the portal. Let me see what we got going on for next. Today's the check-in. Tomorrow is your self-reflection and journaling. So you have questions. These are prompts that I asked. So what is the best thing that happened to me this week? What was the biggest takeaway this week? What is the one action step I will take by next Friday to change old patterns? What did I learn about myself this week? And what testimony will I share with the group on Sunday? So Sunday we will have a little testimony session, especially if I can get that that tool, that platform working to be able to bring people in. So those are the prompts. And if you want to do this with your accountability partner, then you can do that too. So that's like a easy breezy way to start a conversation, is to do the prompts. So those are the things that you have coming up. If you have any questions, you can always hit me on the side. make sure you voted. I would love for you to come, and then also come to my home, and then also think about what we want to eat, something healthy. I'll do like some vegetables. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I'm going to do some teas and maybe some golden milk, just some things that will be good. Hopefully we'll have a good sunny day, because the house, I have all windows, so the house looks really nicely lit up, and we'll just have a nice little intimate gathering. So I would love to be able to do that. So Janine says, you have me thinking now, there are times when my fingertips have poor circulation or ice cold, even in the summer. I don't recall that happening when I removed grains from my diet 3 years ago. Now that my diet is off track, I'm experiencing it again. Something to consider. And what I do, I don't necessarily do mammograms and all those anymore. What I do is thermograms. It is a heat. So think of like Predator. Remember when you saw Predator walking, you could see the colors, the red, the blue, the green, the orange. That's the kind of test that I get now. I stopped doing the mammograms because of the radiation. And when she did my hands, they were black here because the circulation is off because of the grains. So now with the detoxing and the other things that I do, it's starting to get better. Okay, so that's just something to think about. Christina says, this is awesome. I've been struggling to follow my intuition, basically not trusting. I needed to hear this. Yes, trust your intuition. Chrissy, you are the bomb. My girl Chrissy is the bomb. I've known Chrissy for 4 years, and she is the bomb. And I'm grateful. I'll just publicly say, like, she's been supporting my business. She actually brought me to her school in Harlem twice to do sessions like this with her staff, to help them to be a better staff and do some professional development. So thank you. You are the bomb, Chrissy. So just get your little mirror. You don't even have to decorate it, because you are the decoration. Just be like, yep, you got it. You're good. And then if you don't believe it, ask your accountability partner. And then accountability partners be like the little dude and Rocky in the back, like, get him, champ. You got it. That's your role, like the cheerleader, right? And then Elise says, kale salad, girl. I can't do no kale salad unless you want me to be looking like I'm 4 months pregnant, unless you cook it. If you cook it, then I'm good. So I'm not going to hold you anymore. My child is getting her hair did. She's getting her hair braided. So I am going to go pick her up now. I told her she had to wait till 9 o'clock. So I want to respect you guys' time. Thank you for the time. Do all those things that we talked about, especially trying to figure out our potluck final date, because I want to just get it on your schedules. I want you to be able to carve out that time to meet your other sisters and get together. Get in the portal, look at your information. If you missed some of this video, come back, look at it again. You have any questions, hit me on the side. If you haven't scheduled your calls yet, do that. If you haven't done the form yet to health history, please do that as well. And then I will see you on Sunday. Journal, journal, journal. Watch the video on Saturday and enjoy your weekend. Stay warm and also stay hydrated. People think because it's cold, you don't need water. Drink as much water as you can. Drink as many teas as you can. Stay away from the colder foods. Stay away from salads and all those things, and eat warming foods for your body. Eat some soups, drink some teas. That will serve you better. Okay? Good night. I love you guys, and I'll see you on Sunday. Peace.